Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Well, then I've done my job for the day, Chris.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Lori.
Morning.
Morning, Chris. I did, Chris, and thank you so much. Not just you, and thank you to you and Marion and everybody else on the support staff. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I'm sure you hear this all the time, but I'm the things that you guys do is amazing. Thank you so much. That's a pretty big threat. Yeah, shoes are a problem.
Shoe, huh?
I think he was worried about what's on the underside of it, like a spike heel or something.
Probably with Marion's foot still in it, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. On Thursday morning. Oh, my gosh. I'm thinking it's still dark zone. We're 2 minutes out of dark zone. What double setup got skipped? I missed it. that? Oh, RTM and YM. No wonder I didn't see it. Okay. They both set up at the same time. Wow. Yeah, they sure didn't go very far, did they? That's unusual for that. Yeah, probably due to settlement. I love that on YM 936.14 bar laid a mini magnet on the 10 and 30 directly on that wall. Love, love, love that. All right. Get away from settlement at any moment. NQ has very low liquidity at this moment. Chances are really good you're going to get skipped. It's not a good idea to be scalping it right now with Sniper. Simplicity's a little different. You got more room to have slippage or whatever, but I would not, at this moment in time, I would not be sniping NQ. YM's not much better, but a little bit. I look at the order print bars, the ones that just have like 1 or 2 bars on them, and they show the numbers in each cell. if those numbers are less than 5, less than 10 even, it's very low liquidity. Most of them are zeros, ones, twos, or threes. They're very, very low.
Which one are you looking at, Lori? I'll pop it up on the screen. I've gotten some comments where people wanted to see what we're talking about.
NQ. The NQ simple OP chart.
Okay, so what I'm showing on the screen right now is basically my NQ screen, which has the 10 on the left, the OP in the middle, and then the 30 on the right.
Well, you want to maybe, okay, or zoom into the OP chart if you can, so they can see. You won't see it, Chris. This is in he's recording the ER, and so for the recording, he's doing this.
Yeah, sorry, Chris. You'll have to wait until later on.
You can look at pop up the ER NQ chart, and you'll see the one with just 2 little bars. And look at the YM. It just laid a crash, a ZOI crash, on a wall with 2 mini magnets and a paw and a cluster on that crash. That's pretty impressive for a level. X setting up on YM, but it doesn't have anything special, so I'm going to wait. I mean, it has every part that we want. Well, yeah, it has every part, including a TX on the 30. But you're running right into that crash level. I am not all over that. Yes, you could be 10 ticks by the time you get there, but it already tested that level 2 bars before. Yep, didn't set up. It didn't finish. So, I'm not sure what you're trying to turn on there, Johnny. You've got something not set quite right. Did you use a template? think he's trying to turn on an alert because it says about the conditions. So you're trying to turn an alert on when you don't have it all set up correctly. It sounds like, anyway. The announcement's actually something different. It's not an alert. There's a lot of alerts turned on with that template. Oh yeah, because if you look above that, I'm sorry, if you look above that, it says continuously. So how RTY is heading toward, or maybe it won't, I don't know. ZOI with 2 mini magnets that are on the 20 or on the 30 and 10. That's pretty big. Great to have a setup off that on RTY. News coming that could push it through. All right, that's what I was thinking. That'd be an awesome spot for a Lorex there. It doesn't happen right at news. Right in that area in RTY. The news hits, that's for sure.
So, Lori, just kind of give you an update. I know I was kind of silent for a few minutes. Just wanted to make sure that everything was okay on my end. I actually took three trades so far today. Took an NQ at 943.32-ish for a winner. Took an RTY at 946.19 for a loss, and another RTY for a 951 at 951 even for a winner with a nice runner. Actually, got 50 ticks on the runner on that one.
You're working okay today?
Today seems to be working fine, yes.
Good. So far.
So far.
Minute till news. I have not taken anything today so far.
Yes, all Lorexes. Lewis, let me go back to reading your question because it just scrolled by. Close to the first target. So once I hit target and it goes another 2 ticks, then my runner, I move it to break even +2, and then I trail. And every 9 ticks of profit, it's 10 ticks behind the price. You're welcome. For the trailer, it's auto. And I have that set up on an ATM. Lewis, not exactly, because a full bar extended with a wick was 20 ticks. So if it goes on a reversal, then you'd need 21. So it's like half a bar. No, I didn't take simplicity today, Grant. Yeah, Lino, give me 1 second. I'll post a screenshot of the ATM. Lori, is that okay? Can I post that?
Yeah.
Here you go.
going to say they're both setting up, YM and RTY, but no, just that fast they went away.
And this is for the runner. Now again, use this at your own risk. I mean, I've used this and I've tested it and it works for me. So I'm not suggesting that that's what you use, but you use it as a template.
There's a lot of, on RTY, there's mini magnets spread out. So it's just approaching them. I would expect to see some chopping here. But right now, both YM and RTY are setting up a Lorex. Okay, the RTY stopped. It went away. Me like this bar is going to at least go down and take out that lower mini magnet on YM.
It'd be really nice if that cluster can move up about 4 ticks.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking. And then go on down.
Yeah, exactly.
Out that mini magnet, that would be about 10 ticks. And it just took it out. There we go. Intrabar scalp there. Okay, if YM closes down and holds everything it's got now, I like it.
Well, no, Lewis, I never required ODD or HD for the Lorex.
Balance works wonders. Go, Chris.
Nice job, Chris.
I don't remember hearing you call it out, though. Did I miss that?
He called it out to himself, so that counts.
Oh, it does not count.
It does to him. He got the trade.
I guess as a count says it's pretty good, but I mean, if it's a valid setup, whether it wins or loses, irrelevant. You're calling your attention, people's attention to something, and then we can comment on it. Now this mini magnet most likely in YM, but it's got to go. There we go. Now we got 10 ticks if it goes down.
Is this on YM, Lori?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm showing the chart. You want to talk about it or no?
It just looks to me like, there we go, it took it out. It was going to take out that mini magnet, and we were 10 ticks away from it, so it's a good intrabar scalp. And it runs. Still going down. Just 30 ticks. Probably going down still, but not as clear. I am. Thirty ticks was it. like this bar in YM may close up. In this for an audible. 38.41. And there it goes. I wouldn't want to take an NQ short here. Of course, I say that and it runs away, but there's a crash right above it. I would expect it to test the crash. Long simplicity triggered, that would be more. There we go, tested the crash. It's under, the link is under in the boot camp area.
So I didn't call it, but I did take it, and a couple things happened during this process. I took a simplicity long that I triggered in at 10:20, and I was targeting the 0.7 dev. And while this was happening, a Lorix popped up on the 10 tick that I ended up taking short, and that one as well. So, and then I got out of everything at the same time for a pretty nice profit. If somebody has a timestamp, go back maybe a couple of minutes, or actually we did say 10:20, right? So I actually did have the chart up, the simplicity chart up when the trade was in. So we can go back to that on NQ. Yes, on NQ. And with that, I think I'm going to be done for the day. And here's the
Lorix off crash on NQ possibly.
Snorri. Yeah, I only take simplicity on NQ. So that's my stats for today, guys. So I'm done for today.
Oh, that's fair day.
I am not going to complain.
Yeah. Fair day, huh?
The long was... Hold on, I'll tell you exactly. $11,314.75 was the entry price. That's what I got filled at. Because I do a market order, so that's what I got filled in at. And then, like I said, during that simplicity, I got into a Lorex short on NQ at, what was it, 1021. Tell you exactly. The 1021, I'm sorry, the 1020.42 bar. Yes, Ronald, that's the right one. Yes, same one for me. Yeah, remember I'm trading micros on Simplicity and minis on NQ, so that's how I can do that.
Forex off the ZOI, pretty close to a crash there on RTY. It's a little too late. It went too fast. I couldn't call it fast enough. And it was an ETX. Yes, Jacob, that was a good one. Because it was also pretty much a Lorex. It's missing one component, but oh, it's still going.
I actually took that one on my wife's and daughter's accounts. Believe it or not, that RTY.
Nice. I saw it just a tad too late. I could not get in. I tried.
I got it to run for, I got out at 50.
That hurts your feelings.
Extremely.
I'm actually done for the day as well, but that makes it much easier to call trades. Takes the pressure off trying to get in and call them.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Here, this is my wife's account, so I'm done for the day on that one.
Like YM's going to go up a little. Makes this little intrabar scalp a little better, scalping up to the mini magnet at 30758 in YM, because it's going to out that mini magnet. It just did. Very much YM.
Yeah, Seth, I'm just trading Lorexes, and every now and then I'll do a simplicity. Yeah, it's the same across all three markets, YM, RTY, and NQ. And actually on CL I have the same ATM as well.
Bar in YM is very undecided in the middle of tight chop as well. Not a good look. YM, you can see that it broke that mini magnet and then it laid one the very next bar in the same place, closing that gap. But this bar doesn't give you any indication which direction it's going yet. Wow, a lot of FOMC members speaking today and federal budget balance. Lots of chatter this afternoon. Wow, RTY looks like it's between a rock and a hard place. Two different ZOIs there. And just indecision. How many days am I loading for RTY? Let me look. I have no idea. I got 10 loaded. Wow. Hmm. RTY and YM are both kind of, RTY does not look like that mini magnet's going to hold. YM is looking kind of pretty. That gap closing on YM. Oh, nope. Gave it up. $47.5. Okay. Scalping this baby up on RTY. I don't think that mini magnet's going to hold. Lined up for, oh, now it put a mini magnet in the bottom. That doesn't look good. Okay. Give this one up. Break even. Got in at 0.4. Bottom. When it put that in, that kind of there. Oh, I'm gonna go up there anyway. YM is looking like it's going to close the mini magnet that it's right near, so yeah, definitely want to be out of this one. Even it is.
Was this YM right now, Lori?
No, I was in a RTY intrabar scalp, and it put a mini magnet on both ends that neither one looked like they were going to hold, so I was already in the scalp going long. And look, now it's going up there. Oh, man.
Yeah, and this is at the 1050.06 bar, right? I actually had the chart up on the screen, so the video's got the RTY chart up, so...
I got out at just like 2 ticks each, and there we go. It hit that mini magnet. Okay. To tell if a mini magnet will hold if it's got crazy big numbers on both sides of the bar, it's probably not going to hold. Have to look at your OP bars. Okay, when the TX changes color, that's kind of for back testing. If it's blue, that means that it was, let's see, I got to think about it. Which color is which?
If it's blue, that means that the 30 stayed. If it goes magenta, that means it went away after the bar closed on the 10.
And then there's one more color. I think it's closer to a green. I can't remember the other color. You almost never see the other color, but it tells you that it wasn't there at all, but it appeared later. So if you're looking at charts for backtesting Lorix and you're just like looking at charts that already have all the information there, that TX will tell you, the color of it will tell you, okay, there was a TX there when that bar formed, but it went away if it's the magenta. If it's blue, it's there, it stayed, because you've got a 30-tick bar that you're copying it off from, and you're working with 10 ticks. So by the time the 30-tick bar closes, you may have already taken profit. And you don't know if it's going to close or not. So,
Laura, you also mentioned something about trailing. If the TX stays on the 30, then you trail it. Otherwise, you scalp it if it goes away. Is that true?
Well, like I said, you're pretty much out of it, out of the trade by the time, so that would be, you get the scalp that way. But, yeah,
well, no, because
there's a lot of factors for me that goes into that. But, yeah, that's a good, if I see it went away, then I do tend to pull my target in. Yeah.
Because your 10 tick can close before you hit profit, because you still have to go 2 more bars, right? So the initial setup bar...
your 10-tick bar will close, and you have profit before the 30-tick bar closes.
Right.
Yeah.
But you'll know if the TX on the 30 goes away or not, right?
Not until after you completed your scalp, almost. You might not quite have the trade completed, but it can be really close. You have to look at the number to know if the mini magnet's going to hold. You got to look at the numbers on the OP bar on that mini magnet cell. And if it's got 2 huge numbers, it's not going to hold. It's going to go, and I mean huge. It's going to go back down there and collect those numbers. Yeah, thank you for that, CJ. Slowed down, so I'm really trying to watch for these intrabar scalps. Since it's slowed down, we're not going to probably get a whole lot of sniper setups, so I'm watching for the intrabar reads. I would say this is probably going to go down from 44.9. 3.9, just under that mini magnet. On RTY, sorry. Okay. So now, no, go up. Thought that bar was going to close down. But since it didn't, I'm thinking switch directions here. Close.
we still, sorry, are we still talking about RTY, Lori?
Yeah.
Okay, because I still have that chart up. So.
Okay. RTY. Okay. It's almost a profit. There we go. There we go. Got it. On a retrace on that one. I mean, huge numbers on the cells that have the mini magnet. Both sides of the cells that have the mini magnet. Nothing else. I don't care what side has more. I don't care top or bottom. Doesn't matter. So I thought that 1057.29 bar was going to close down. It was really, really close to closing down, which is why I thought it would be a scalp down. But it closed up, so I put an order in at 46 point. Well, it got in at 46.5. It came back and got me in and got the profit. Went back up. Just a little intra-bar scalp there on RTY. That could mean that you are a little laggy there, Megan. RTY generally gives the easiest bar scalps, so I'm kind of watching that closely. Actually watching this bar in YM as well.
So Lori, FYI, just so you know, I have the RTY charts up. So as you're talking about them.
Okay, so I like the YM scalp to go short. Oh, it's too late. I mean, it went really fast, but it was at 756. Going down, it should take profit at 746, and it did. A little jerky, hard to call in time. That's the bad part about the intrabar scalps. They can be hard to call. And I'm not even looking at NQ. Exactly, Michelle. It was exactly based on the 1103.00 bar. That one would have been, as soon as that bar closed, I'm going short for 10 ticks. It went too fast. A lot of times it'll oscillate just a little bit, and you can put your order in there even if it's a little bit late, but that one just dipped right down.
So Lori, I'm actually showing the YM chart right now with the 1103.00 bar.
Got to really wait for the right lineup in the bar, things to go just right, and they do. The stop is at the other side of the bar, because if it goes the wrong direction, you really don't want it anymore. And you're usually playing in the middle of the bar, so it's not too bad for risk reward.
So Lori, would you say that the stop is like maybe 10 ticks at the most?
It really depends. Usually it's about 10, but it can go up to, be almost 20, but it's usually less than a full Lorex or something like that. And usually, not always, but usually the bar that we're scalping is a divergent bar, meaning your call it. Man, I'm losing the term. How many times did I do that yesterday? Ron, geez, I couldn't think of my word. It means the little numbers above the bar will be orange. Not the OD numbers, but the little ones.
The bottom set of numbers. So there's two boxes, so it's the bottom box.
No, I'm talking about the.
Oh, you're talking about the numbers on the very, very top.
can I think of that term? Hang on, I'm going to have to pull up my for the term. I just cannot think of it. Volume control. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I couldn't think of that. No.
Lori, is that like the very, very, very top's number above the two boxes? Is that the one?
Well, it's on your regular on your regular chart, not the
Well, because you have it on the OP chart as well. It's just the very, very top.
No. You don't have it on the OP chart.
Really? Oh, okay.
Volume score. That's what it is. That's what I'm trying to think of. It's volume score. Yeah. Volume score. It's the little number above the bars on your sniper chart.
So if you're looking at RTY, is it like 31, 35, 44, 60, whatever it is? That one?
What numbers I have?
Like on the current bar on RTY right now, it's 49, 50, 49. Is that the numbers you're talking about?
Yeah, and now it's 44, 43,
Yeah.
42.
So, yeah, I have the same numbers
one.
on my OP chart. I have the same numbers. The very, very top, above the two little boxes.
Okay. Yep, I guess they are, aren't they? I've just never ever paid attention to it on that chart. Wow. Okay.
Just seeing things.
Well, if it's divergent, like it is right now in RTY, then the box in that on your OP chart turns orange. Your whole box turns orange above the bar. Then if you're looking at your other chart, your sniper chart, the number turns orange. Well, it turns orange in the OP chart too. I didn't pay attention, but
exactly. The top now the number is black.
I don't even pay attention to that in the OP chart. So yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So this way you can just look at the OP chart and just look at that bar, and you have all the information that you need, literally, without going to the 10 tick.
Yeah, see, I watch the 10 tick, and I keep a close eye on the OP chart. I have to watch them both. I have to see what it's landing on. I have to see what it did before. So many things to watch for. And 11:10:54. We were talking about the other stuff, so I didn't call it, but that was a double TX. Laying a mini magnet on top of the mini magnet. Oh, I like that one. And there just one. I mean, I didn't catch it, but just saying, that was a sweet one. Yeah, R2I long. Exactly, Megan. And that ZOI was kind of in the way a little bit, but it still could oscillate around to catch your profit there. Yeah, exactly. Jeff just put a screenshot of the divergent volume score. I mean, he's got crazy colors on his chart, but he still has the divergent volume score the same. Yeah, it was, Megan, I was just calling out that. So that 111054 bar on RTY was a DTX and an ETX, and I'm just saying I liked it. You can have your chart colors. That would be cute.
That would definitely be a conversation starter.
Okay, potential Lorix on RTY. I don't see anything special about it. Wait, yes I do. If it closes down and holds everything on RTY, I like it. Lorix. All over this one. No, got the first one off. Expect for a target would be the mini magnet down around 46.4. Why? Skipped you? I'm in sim because I met my goal already. That YM looks like it is trying to, no, it's not going to hold that. Never mind. Right, isn't it? Our scalp on YM. And our TY is still going. RTY is getting into an area of a lot of clusters spread out, so it could be a little bit of a pain to get down there to the target. 46.6 is my target, just above that mini magnet. RTY. There is, Seth. If you've bought the recordings, it's on the page somewhere.
There's a Simplicity short, by the way, right now, setting up. If I was trading, I probably would take it.
My target, 46.6. Yay.
Just saying, if I was trading right now, I would take this short, and I would target around 11,250. Let's say 11,260.
Let's say 11,250.
I was gonna say 11,259, but I'll say 11,260. There's a wall of 11,260. I target that.
Well, the Lorix hit the target. Yay. I'll take it.
It's funny, I'm sitting here and thinking to myself, why is everything so quiet? I didn't have tick strike up.
I have it up, but it's still on my old computer, and I don't have speakers on that, so I just have to look at it, not hear it.
So again, I called the Simplicity, but I did not take it. The entry would have been at the 1118 bar. So entry would have been somewhere around 11,296, 295.75, something like that. And targeting 11,260.
The RTY didn't have a mini magnet or a paw, but I liked that it went, well, it was the third hit of the level at around 1750.4. It came up to that level, and then it went down, and it came up to that level almost again, and this time it pushed through and started setting up to go short. It was the third bounce off that level. So, and then just before that, the YM had put in a TX with an X. It wasn't a full Lorix, but that kind of gave it a confirm to me, and I was all over it. And the cluster was on a ice node, a longer ice node, and the cluster was right there acknowledging that longer ice node, and yeah, so down it fell. I really, really liked it. Yeah, I wasn't looking at the OP numbers. I mean, I wasn't looking at the mini magnet numbers on that one at all. On that last intra-bar scalp. That was strictly a read on my part. Yeah, 7-8 is not considered crazy big numbers. They are not telling you a whole lot. But when you do take a intrabar scalp based on a mini magnet, keep in mind it has to move 10 ticks away from that mini magnet, and then you go back in the direction toward the mini magnet, because it may not actually close past it, but it's going to take the mini magnet out usually. So it's a little bit tricky. You have to make sure it goes 10 ticks away, so it has to go 10 ticks, and you can ride that. You're just basically riding that 10 ticks back up to it. Did you like the last YM Lorex? No. Yeah, it worked, but it wasn't anything special to me. So yeah, I don't want it. I would rather skip an iffy one because they can go either way. Yes, it did have everything except a cluster, and the clusters were on the last two bars before it, so, but it just barely made profit. Yuck. Not a fan. Sometimes I can't decipher very well why I don't like it, but he didn't. TX and RTY made it. It was labeled as a DTX there too. Wow. I thought that was a little far apart for a DTX, but a DT Lorex even. Lorex there. I thought that seemed kind of far away, so. Well, good deal, Vegas.
Steve, I'm just going back and looking at your question. The reason I chose that target is because there's a couple of other points where price was getting to that level and it was testing it and it couldn't break through it. And I'm thinking if this might be the third test, either it's going to go through it or it's going to basically bounce back again. So, and it's a wall, so I figured that's going to be a good target. Plus there was some good volume on that level, and we're getting pretty close to that target. Actually, we just hit it. So there you go. Again, I did not take it, but I thought I would call it, because I would, if I was trading, I would have taken it. Oh, good for you, Steve. Excellent. Did you get in where I called it? Nice. Excellent. See, now it's either going to blow through this level or it's going to bounce right back up and go up again. So. And it blow through it. something always to be said for Lori's walls. It's kind of funny. I have this conversation with my accountability partner all the time, man. They're there for a reason. So use them. That's all I can say is use them.
You'll see how on NQ it laid a cluster on that wall. When it got down there, it laid a cluster the first trip almost at the wall, and then it retraced a little bit and coil chopped there for just a bit and laid a cluster directly on that wall. It's letting you know that is still something to pay attention to.
Right, 11/28/44
I mean, who
bar.
knows when that wall was laid? Those walls are old, most of them. I'm adding some new ones here and there, but most of them are old.
Vegas, 9 ticks of profit is better than a 1 tick loss, so that's great.
Oh, it's a constant struggle. You never, ever get over it. You learn to manage it. Oh, dang. YM is setting up for his, yeah, didn't do it. Okay.
Look at RTY, Lori.
Whichever way this RTY bar closes, I want to be in for a 10 tick scalp at the bar close.
Yeah, I was just going to say a potential scalp bar.
I have a order in at 1747, but I'll take it out and put one in short if it goes down. I don't care which direction it goes. I just expect it. There we go. Just expect it.
You're welcome, Steve. Just don't forget my 10% referral fee. No, I'm just kidding.
One more tick.
Remember, guys, I don't take a lot of simplicity trades. I try to call them when I see them, but they are rare. Fortunately for me, I think the last 4 I called were successful. But this is over the course of like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I got that. Well, I got it in Sim, but yeah. I mean, I say 10 ticks, but in all honesty, I mean 9. You put it 1 tick before the close of the bar, so when the bar closes, you're out. And my runner, I actually moved up to break even plus a few because it was hesitating, and it. nice little scalp.
See, Vegas, we talked about this yesterday. Remember, you were red and you had to leave? I think it was yesterday, right? Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't remember what day it was. And then we just said, just go, come back, and then you'll do much better today. And that's exactly what happened. So once you know your system works, then you did the best you could yesterday, and the market just didn't want to give it to you. And then you come back the next day, and you just, same thing. It just, it's like rubber stamp, rinse and repeat. Do it over and over again, and you don't deviate from your plan. You don't deviate from your setups, and this is what happens. You come out 3-0 today. Well, it's also very important to realize how you felt, because it's important, because that's part of it. Because the last thing you want to do is come back the next day and then be gun shy because something happened yesterday and you're afraid that that's going to happen again. Because if the setup was correct, you still need to be able to pull the trigger no matter what happens. And I'm sure Lori can speak to this as well. With she knows I don't know if it's now an issue anymore, but when she had her internet, snafu, I guess if you would, where she knew that it wasn't stable. I'm sure she was always constantly worried, what's going to happen. But the thing about it is she was confident in her setups, and she knows that I'm taking the setup, and the only reason she was worried is just to make sure that the internet stays up. But she knew that the setup was there, and she's still going to take it no matter what happens.
And yes, I still fight with that.
And the flip side of it is I can tell you guys from personal experience, I've had things that were pretty catastrophic happen to me, and you got to get up, dust off your pants, and come back the next day and just do it all over again. It's a lot easier to talk about it than do it.
RTY is looking good if this turns into a Lorex because it's a DTX. Like that. But I want more than okay, it went away. Never mind. I was going to say I want more than a DTX. I want a D double Lorex. Yep, you really need to take it day by day. Each day is its own day. Yesterday doesn't matter. Tomorrow is not here. So just worry about the market today and what you see. phone. Okay, so YM 612 and 61. Which one do you think is more likely to hold? Although they're both pretty low, so it's not gonna be a good test. But if the 612 was a little bit higher numbers, I would say, and it's down almost 10 ticks away, I put an order in right here at 46 and ride it up to 56. But it's not high enough to do that. That's YM. But it's definitely not high enough to do that. But you want to be 10 ticks away, which would be 46. So you get up and ride it up to 56. But you can't. I mean, you don't here because 6 and 12 is not big enough. We don't. It's not. It might. I'm talking about an intrabar scalp. There you go. It did it. So, but it wasn't big enough. It was 6 and 12 and 6 and 1 on each end. So the 6 and 12 was a little more likely, but it's not worth the risk on that one.
Jacob, that was YM, and by the way, I actually have I had the chart up when you were talking about it. So if somebody wants to timestamp it, you can look at it.
And afterwards, it doesn't look like anything. I mean, it's just, no big deal. Well, I guess it was a divergent bar, so, which I didn't even notice at the time. YM is kind of trying to put in a mini magnet. It went away, but where it broke through this double mini magnet on the 10 tick.
Hey Lori, how many bars need to go through when it breaks a mini magnet or a stack of mini magnets before you consider patching a hole?
I like it to be like within a couple of bars that another mini magnet gets laid, but it just kind of depends. 1141, so let's see, it was the 1141.14 bar. Yes, that was the divergent bar that I was talking about. It would not have actually taken it because those numbers were not big enough, but when you're comparing the numbers 6 and 1, and what was the other one, 6 and 14 or something?
6 and 12.
6 and 12. Okay, then it's more likely to go up to the bigger numbers, but those weren't big enough to make it sure enough to take, if that makes sense. They're both pretty little numbers, so it just doesn't give you very much of an edge. It's a little tiny edge, maybe, 5% edge or something like that. So I would not have taken that, but I just wanted to illustrate in real time. It was 10 ticks away from that mini magnet. If that mini magnet was huge, if those numbers on that upper mini magnet were big, then it would have been a perfect time to jump in, grab 10 ticks, and get out. The 1141.14 bar on YM. The 11 bar, it doesn't have an absorption X, and it does not have a mini magnet or a paw, so it's missing two things. I wouldn't take it on the RTY. And it was trying to put a Lorax in. Yeah, no. I want a sharper edge.
Steve, I try to find levels again. Just like entries, when we try to bounce off levels, then I try to target a level. Either somewhere where price has hit a couple times and it was either struggling to break through, like where the wall was, where there's higher volume, because price usually has a tendency to bounce from peak volume areas to other peak volume areas, so it depends on where you get in.
Questions are really good. Keep asking them, because for one thing, it makes us think about what we're doing, because sometimes it's easy to just do it and you don't, it's a little more automatic than we even pay attention to. And so it forces us to really think about what we see and what we do. And it helps you, of course, learn.
And another thing too, Steve, is usually my targets end up being somewhere between 100 to 140 ticks. I don't know. I mean, it's by accident, but on purpose. I mean, it always ends up being somewhere around there. When I pick a target, I don't look for those specific tick count, but just when I pick a target, it usually ends up being around that range. Lori, did you see Jeff's question?
No. Yeah, I was waiting for that question.
Me too.
I don't know. Now you know why I haven't officially taught this yet, because it's in process. If they're in your face, they'll be big enough. If they're like single digits, yeah, not so much. Both in the high teens or more, probably. But it kind of depends on the numbers in the bar, what the other one is. I mean, usually a lot of times there's a mini magnet on both ends, like right now in RTY. There's a 1 and a 2 and a 6 and a 1. Neither one are worth even looking at. Who knows? Who cares? It's not anything that's going to be, okay, now 5 and 1 and 6 and 1. Yep. Doesn't matter. It's not going anywhere. And so, who knows? But if it was 50 and 10 and 60 and 11 or something, well, the 10 and 11 aren't much, but the other numbers kind of make up for it. No, pretty much just if there's mini magnets on both ends, I only look at the mini magnet numbers, pretty much. I say pretty much because I think that's all I look at. And that's just one of the things I look at. I've got several different intrabar scalp plays, but okay, right now, RTY, 5 and 1 and 6 and 1. Yeah, who cares? Not going to be anything to watch. They're both, way too small and way too close together in numbers to have any kind of edge. Sometimes you have a really huge number, but it won't go away from that number. It won't go 10 ticks away, so you can ride it 10 ticks back. And in that case, you just got to leave it alone. That happens 15 and 2. It doesn't much. That's not. It's not a big in your face number. Now that you're paying attention to them, you'll see some big in your face numbers, and you'll go, this is what she's talking about. You'll know when you see it. These little numbers do not matter. Who cares? 15-2 is not enough. It might be a little more likely to go in that direction, but it's not enough to make a big enough difference to take the risk. I don't care if it has one on both sides or just one. If it has a big numbers on one side, it's probably going to go there. I don't care if there's another on the other side, although I think they tend to usually have one on both sides, but I don't really care if they do or not. Know what NQ 115144? I don't have anything there. Oh, wait a minute. It's just one bar. Ew. It doesn't have a TX. It doesn't on the 30, it doesn't have a absorption X or a OPR. Yeah, it's missing too much, in my opinion. It probably did have ODD, and it didn't go that far. So that part was probably pretty good, but yeah, no. I don't have much for confirmations, Jake. Register as elevators. Maybe they didn't. An elevator, technically, to be an entry, has to have, I think, a mini magnet or a paw on the bar that comes down in the direction of the trend, I think. I forget. It's been so long since I've traded just a plain. I just don't trade them very often. They're more, for me, more of a confirmation. Go back and watch that again, and you'll see that they're probably missing something, so they don't show up.
Jacob, I got a question for you. So you said you took the Lorex at 1151.44, correct? Is Jacob? Can you hear me, Lori? Did Jacob hear my question?
Yeah. No, I can hear you.
Jacob, you still in here?
Yeah, it had a cluster and a mini magnet, but that wasn't enough.
Okay, and you did take that trade, right? Okay. Did you take the one at 1152.54? So are you only looking for ODD trades? Oh, I got you. Okay. So you don't have the Lorex. I understand. Okay. I was going to say, because if you took the Lorex at 1151.44 as a Lorex, then you should have taken the 1152.54 as a Lorex as well. Actually, that had about the same setup. Actually, no, it had more on that one. And they were both short, ideally. So mechanically speaking, they both had the same things. And that one actually did one, and it gave you a little bit of a trailer. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you have a setup that you're going to take and you're going to take it, especially when they show up back to back, you don't want to like leave one out just because the first one failed, because the second one obviously can win.
Okay, I gotta turn the mic off. It's noon anyway, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it's noon. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take off as well, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. If you're still trading, then trade well. See you guys.